so much to show you, I'm not even sure how to get started. So today I have whips, I have a timeout on one, I have plans, I have one purchase. So let's kind of get into it. This one might be a little longer than the last couple. So we're going to start off with, oh, before we get into that, I do want to say I'm going to share something a little different that I'm doing, and in case maybe that helps some of you to plan as we're coming down towards the end of the year. I can't believe I'm saying it's the end of the year already. And so I normally don't give numbers and such, but I am going to include a number kind of in this. It won't be a big deal, but you'll see what I mean. So this first one I'm going to call my football stitching, and it's to keep my hands busy while I'm staring at the TV, but doesn't need a lot of my attention. So I'm simply filling in block stitching, and that is life support. The artwork is by Guiseppi Miconi. It's charted by Stitching Moon Designs. And I'm working on filling in this black. So what did I do? I came down and I've got all the way to the bottom corner here. I outlined this water globe right here. And then I came all the way across and found this corner, and now I'm working my way back up to fill in this section here. And you can see I still have black that I didn't bring down here. So yeah, so here's where it was before. And this one, I would get really bored working on all that black, except I'm not paying much attention to the black because I'm paying attention to the TV. So, and speaking of football, to my Seattle Seahawk fan, congratulations. That game didn't end the way I preferred it to end, but I'm happy for you. So anyway, back to this. So this is currently now at 38.79%. It was at 34.5%, right? Yeah, I can't read my own handwriting. Now, here's where I'm going to start talking about the numbers. A couple months back, I thought, you know, as I get closer to the end of the year, I start wondering what to work on. So as I finish off my goals and I have my finishes done for the year, then I start going, well, what do I want to work on now? And sometimes I really debate that. So what I did is I went in and I just randomly picked what I figured is a round number. So 5, 10, 35, whatever it was, percent. Now I went through my pattern keeper and I picked those numbers and then said, okay, yeah, maybe that's close enough. And then I figured out how many stitches that would be to reach that percentage. So for life support, I thought 35% would be great. As you can see, I didn't think about football, and I'm currently at 38, so I've exceeded that. Okay, so next one, you saw last video. I pulled it out on August 31st, worked on it that one day, knew I wanted to put way more time into it. So this is Death in the Garden. Artwork is by Megan Majewski. Hold on. Life support is on a 20 count Aida in the color Aquarius by CURRNT Cotton. If I forget anything, it's all down below. So this is by Megan Majewski. Artwork is charted by UnconventionalXStitch. Boy, I threw myself off there. And here's where she is. There we go. There we go. I'm still playing with getting the colors right. So I filled in more of her hair. I filled in around her scalp here, filled in her face, most of the rest of this flower, and I've been filling in her eye. So I'll bring that in a little bit closer. I'm trying to get this new phone, the camera is very different. So yeah, the colors are about right, but except for the fabric. The fabric is a 18 count very light pewter by Zweigart. It's just one of their standard colors, but this is a bluer color, and so the skin tone really pops in person. But I think you can see that. but on camera that blue kind of gets washed out. So here's where that was last time. So this one is currently now at, oh no, I didn't put down where it was. It was at 24, I believe it's at 26. I know it's at 26%, but I don't know the exact percentage. This one I thought would be nice to reach 30%. So I still need 393 stitches. But I wouldn't have a problem bringing this out more often. Would you have a problem seeing this more often? So I hope not. Okay, let's see if I don't throw that one on the floor. Okay, so the next one, as I said, I was trying to pull things out that I haven't seen in a while. So this next one is also artwork by Guiseppi Miconi and charted by Stitching Moon Designs. This is Stone Expression. And here's where it is. So it's really easy to show you what I did. I came down and I started this next page right here. So everything below this line is new. All of this is new. And this was already done. So let me see if I can bring that in a little bit. Aren't those girls amazing? I love their faces. I really enjoy this. I can't wait to get in and see the face of the stone. But yes, so this was at 35.68%. It's at 37.11%. And this one I would like to reach 40%. So that leaves me with about 3,700 stitches left to put in. Now, some of these numbers may be ridiculous, but it's just a guide if I'm not sure what to pull out next, that I can look and go, oh, that's close enough. Let me give that a day or two. And then it just helps me pick when we get down November, December, instead of sitting here, you know, looking at my projects and not knowing which one I want to stitch on. Okay, so this next one you have not seen in a very long time is MOONRISE WHISPER, and it's this here. This is artwork by Jennifer Taylor, charted by Contemporary Cross. I'm doing this one, here we go, on a 20 count aida because I have one of her other pieces and I'm doing it on 20 count. So I want to keep all the fabrics the same. I have 3 of her designs, and so I really, can you see those colors coming in? They're just so pretty. So what I did is I picked colors up here that were missing and carried them down. I have 2 stitches right here, and I have a couple stitches missing right here, but otherwise everything above this is done. And then I just kept carrying it down. There you go, you can see all those colors in there. So here's where it was before. And this one is now at 2.71%. And I would like to reach 5% on this, but 5% is still 4,000 stitches. So we'll see if I get to that. But that's one you may see more of as we get down towards the end of the year. Okay, this next one is Broken Wings. I had it confused with the following one. This is artwork by Janka Latechova, and it's charted by Thread Geeks. Why do I do that? Okay, if you're new here, I always try to reverse the name of that company. All right, so this is where we're at. And yeah. So again, I was picking colors up here, filling them in, and then working down here. So this one here, well, let me put in the before. This one here was, I started 5%. When I quit working on it one evening, I went to write down my percentage. I was at 5.97%. And that really annoyed me. So last night I picked it up again and I put in 52 stitches to bring it to 6.03%. Now this one here, since I'm at 5%, the next rounded percentage should be 10. And that would be an additional 3,600 stitches. So, yeah, look at that. Now this next page, I think with this one, let me put the picture back up. But this one you can see the whole top is really light, and then there's her, and then there's some white because she's laying on the ground. So I think what I want to do is just work all the way down to the bottom. So I go light, dark, a little bit of light, and then I'm not working, right, all on the same kind of color. And this next page, okay, put it back up. This next page, I will get to her skirt, her shorts. I'll get to her tush. There we go. And so I'll get into some really dark colors. So that'll be fun. So yeah, I'm excited to bring this back out because I know I'm getting to the part of the focus of this piece. I'm getting to her. So this is, I haven't been telling you fabric, sorry. Stone Expression was on a 20 count even weave. I dyed myself. Moonrise Whisper, I did tell you, is 20 count aida. This is the 20 count aida that I dyed myself. It's supposed to be for something else, but I like working on a colored fabric when I have these really light colors. Okay, so that's that one. This next one you knew you were going to see. I have a thread on here, kind of stopped right in the middle of a stitch. This is Brothers. This is also by Thread Geeks. Got it. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I gave you the wrong name. Sorry. This is by Thread Geeks, but the artwork is by Enys Guerrero. I'm really sorry. This one, Brothers, is by Janka Latechova. This is a focus to a finish this year. And so you can see where it is. And here's where it is now. So what did I do? It's pretty, I worked, this here will be his eye. So I didn't do a lot there, but I filled in pretty much everything in his face. I have a few stitches here and there that need to go in, but this lower portion is almost done. And then you can see the thread here. I came back over here and I started coming down. I wanted to fill in his arm and his elbow so I can figure out where to eliminate background here, where the background is. So that's where that is. I will put a picture in of where it was before, and I think you'll be able to see quite a difference. All right, so this was at, now these percentages are not precise because of removing the background, but it was at 76.51. It's at 80.88. And isn't it cool? So I'll bring that in closer so you can still see, you know, some of the stitches missing. But you can see the emotion on his face. You can see the love he has. And I'm not even done in his face. I still have 20 to 30 stitches left in there. But yeah, I love the passion he has for his horse. That's what really made me fall in love with this piece. So next time I pick this up, I will come down and really work on finishing off this section right here so that I know where to eliminate background, and then I'll come up here and start filling in. I've got to finish his ear, and then I can start working on his eye and part of his mane. And we'll go from there. But yeah, this is what I want to finish. It'd be really nice if the next time I came back I had a finish. I'm not going to promise it, but it would be really nice. Okay, so now we are at the timeout. I was watching Anne, the Max Color Stitcher, and she had a relatively new start. She had worked her way, now she does 1 to 2 blocks, so 10 to 20 stitches high all the way across, and she likes to reach the end on a regular basis. And she had one that she really liked the picture, but she wasn't real happy with how it was coming out, and she thought, you know, yeah, I could start it somewhere else, I could keep going and see, but she said, you know what, I'm not enjoying it, this is my hobby, I'm done, it's over, I'm not stitching this piece. And I have a piece that I started 3 years ago. And the intent was, so I'm speaking about Night Fairy here, and I'll show you Night Fairy. There's also a Day Fairy. And I don't have a picture of that right now. If I have a picture, I'll pop it in if I can find one. And my plan was, I'd shown this to my grandchildren, my granddaughters, and I asked them, we had a room in my house that was dedicated to them when they came and stayed. And so they pretty much each decorated one long wall in the room, so the one closest to their bed. And I asked them if they would like these, so that they had something similar yet different to hang on their wall by their bed. And they did. And they were treating the room at my house kind of like we would treat, not that I ever had one, but like we would treat a vacation home. You're going to do it differently than you have at home because, you know, different is nice. Or these people that own more than one home, you're going to decorate the second one a little bit differently. So when I moved, I asked them, do you want me to finish these and you can take them home? And they both said, no, it doesn't go with our rooms. And they weren't in love with it. They loved it for my house. They didn't love it for their house. So because I already had about a page done, I thought, I'm going to keep going. This never calls to me. I actually have to spin it or tell myself I have to work on it. And the reason is that it doesn't work in my house. So if you've seen what I stitch, obviously what you've just seen there, this doesn't go with anything else. And I've been working on this and chipping away at this and looking around my home and going, where could I hang this? What could I do with this? I thought about turning this into a kind of a project bag, but to travel around with my current crochet project. And I thought, no, there's too much white. This is going to get dirty. And I finally came up with what I would like to do with this. I would like to just finish this at some point, and then when there's a baby born, add the name, maybe the birth date, and turn this into a baby sampler. Now, my oldest granddaughter is turning 17 tomorrow, and I don't want her to have children anytime soon. But if it means that I have to wait 10 years until I have a great-grandchild, that's fine. But I will show you one last time. Here's where we're at. And so I don't have a whole lot to do, but I could come down here and put in the name of a child or the birth date, or, you know, there's enough room to squeeze in somewhere. And, or not, but I'm going to put this in timeout. I have two other projects that are in timeout. They're both Christmas pieces. And if I'm ever in the mood, I pull it out and work on it, but they're not things that I have goals to finish now. And this will free me up to work on something I really do want to work on. So thank you, Anne, for reminding me that just because I started it doesn't mean I have to rush to finish it. So this is going in timeout. It's not getting thrown away. It will eventually come out, and you may see it a couple times throughout the year, but it's not going to be finished this year. Now, I said I had one purchase, and I did. I went looking. I have an idea. I have a chart that I've had for a long time. It doesn't matter what it is. It's not a full coverage, and I wanted to treat it like people treat their long dogs, where they pick colors, because it's a monochromatic piece, and I don't want to do it that way. So I went looking for inspiration for a fabric to dye. And if I want something unusual, totally unique, I'll go look at the sewing shop. I'll put the address up here. And when I got there, I found a piece. It was not what I was thinking about doing. And I thought, ooh, I could do that. And then went, no, I'm going to support my friend. I'm going to purchase from her. Why try to recreate something when it's already done? And I don't know if it's the difference in currencies, but her dyed pieces are really not more expensive than a plain piece of Aida by Zweigart. And she uses a Zweigart base. So this is my piece. It has a little bit more green, I think, than you're seeing there, but that's pretty close. Blues and greens are really hard to photograph. Yeah, there's more green in that. You're seeing all the blue. But some of these lighter spots are greenish. So this is called Neptune's Depth, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So I bought that because now I can actually start laying out colors and getting the colors I want on this. Hey, that's much better. Wait, what did I do? That's the greenish. Okay, so that's the color. So I have this, I will plan. It won't be started anytime soon because I will, my plan next year is to finish something and then start something. So when I finish a piece and I can start this, I will start it, but I have it. And she also sent me this adorable little needle minder. Let's see. There you go. You can see him. He's not straight, but isn't he cute? So thank you, Kaylee. Okay, so before I show you my plans, and we're still kind of doing that, let me pull out things that you haven't seen and I haven't seen in a while, you haven't seen in a while. I want to talk about two new floss tubers to me. First one is Amy, the reading stitcher. She does full coverage, she does kits, she does a wide variety, but I enjoy watching her. And the other one is Layla Stitches. Now, Amy has, I believe, 13. She just had one come out last night or the night before. I don't know, I watched it last night. And I think it was video 13. Layla Stitches is, she has 2 videos out. She has her whip parade, and then she has a regular update. She does a lot of full coverage as well. She does do a variety. She has one fancy lady. It is an Asian piece. I want to say it's by Joan Elliott. Don't quote me, but I want to say it was Joan Elliott. And she changed the colors, and oh my God, when she changed the colors, I'm not a fancy lady person, but man, that was beautiful. So check both Amy and Layla out. Let them know I sent you and give them some love. Help them grow their channel. Okay, plans. So plans. I want to continue working on Brothers. That needs to be finished. So that's the first one. The second one that didn't come out yet this month and has to come out every month because I love it is Strength. This is what Strength will look like. And I want to finish her next year, so she needs to get lots of love. So I was last working up here in her head wrap, but I also came down the time before, and my hand is under here, sorry. And I had worked on getting her finger in. So I would really like to work some more on this head wrap and try to get more of that done. But I might also come down here and start filling in more of her hand. This is one that I would really love to reach 50% before that would mean that I would have about roughly 90-some percent, 98, 97%, 98 or 97,000 stitches left, which is doable for next year. But that means that I really need to get working on this. So this is too big to show you with the entire piece, so I will put in a picture of where I'm at now. Okay, you might also see Death in the Garden, which I've already shown you, because I would like to reach 30%. And she's just a lot of fun to work on. I would like to work more on her face, get more of her face in, finish that eye, maybe get to her nose or something. I don't want to work on her body, her hands. I want to save that for later. I want to get her head in and then work on background and then eventually get to the rest of her. Okay, so that's 3 of them. The next one would be One for Sorrow. This is my oldest piece. I haven't shown you. This is what it will look like. The artwork is by Stephanie Puy-Manoir, and it's charted by Heaven Earth Designs. And I didn't tell you. Strength. Artwork is by Nicole Payne, charted by UnconventionalXStitch. This is a 20 count, very light pewter by Zweigart. This is one for sorrow. Artwork is by Stephanie Poimonois. This is my oldest piece, and I'm working on a 20 count even weave, not my favorite. I'm not doing by page, I'm doing the entire, so this line right here is where the wall is that the bird is sitting on. And so what I think I'd like to do is I'd like to reach 30% by the end of, no, not 30, 20%. And I think what I want to do is come out here, because I think I have a page and then a partial page left, and just get that corner in so that as I'm working, I can kind of feel the motivation to keep going, because I'll see how much more I have to do with the light. I truly believe that when I get down to these darker colors, it'll go faster and I'll be more motivated than I have been with all these light colors. I also noticed in the chart, or in the image, that as I move across, these extremely light colors are not on this side. So it's slightly darker over here than it is over here. And I'll put the picture back up so you can see that. So hopefully I will work all the way across and we'll be able to start seeing where the corner of that will be. This just needs to be done. I love this done. I just, for whatever reason, do not enjoy stitching on it. And a lot of it has to do with the fabric. I don't like the even weave. I don't like how my floss slips under the threads, and so I struggle with it. But I love it. It will get done. And finally, one I thought I might work on this month, or these past 2 weeks, I thought would be a really good piece to work on watching football. But the idea that I need to have my tablet with me made it not as, not the one I gravitated towards, because life support, I don't need anything but my black, my scissors, and the project. This one I also need the tablet, and I need to at least be counting. So this is Masquerade. Artwork is by Christopher Lavelle. It's charted by UnconventionalXStitch. And I think I can get this all in. I might have to cover my face. There we go. And that's where I'm at. So I've been working on this 939, just kind of outlining it as I go across. So for this one, there's no progress on this. I'll bring this in so you can kind of see some of the details. So this one I would like to reach 10% before the end of the year. And if I reach 10%, I need an additional 8,600 stitches. That's insane. So this is one that I probably will not be able to finish that goal, but it's at least something to reach for. So these are the ones you may see. Let me see if there's anything I forgot to tell you about, looking at my notes. I think that's pretty much it. Those are the ones I want to work on. I don't know how much stitching time I will have. A little bit of life here at the end. So a lot of you know my grandson, he just turned 11, and he likes to have frequent night sleepovers here. And he didn't get his sleepover over Labor Day weekend, but he got it this past weekend. So he stayed here Friday night. He came and they dropped him off right from school and stayed through Saturday. And then I just got a call last night from his mother that my son has a business thing on Saturday and she's committed to being a chaperone for her daughter's, for an activity with her daughter. And so she said, any chance you could let him sleep over? Yep, he already said he wanted to sleep over. So he'll be coming again this coming weekend. And then next weekend, my oldest granddaughter contacted me. Now she lives about 2 hours away. And she contacted me and said, hey, there's this concert I'd like to go to. And I thought, since it's down by you, maybe you'd like to go. So she sent me a playlist because I'd never heard of this artist. And I thought, wow, I'll tell you more about that later after I go to the concert. But I thought, you know, it's different. I'm interested. I had never heard, the blend of style is really unique. And I said, sure. Well, her mother doesn't want her driving down here by herself yet because she's only been driving roughly a month or so. So they're going to drive down and her mother's going to join us and we're going to go to the concert. But because she does online schooling, she's going to bring her things here, stay for a few days. And so I will probably have some stitching time in the morning while she's doing school. But how much time after that, I don't know. So those are the pieces I want to work on. I've got company coming. It'll be fun. I'll update you on what I think of the concert. Like I said, it's a completely different style of music than I've heard. So yeah, it's going to be a fun next 2 weeks, and the stitching will kind of blend in between all of it. Kind of sprinkle it around. So I feel cut off from the world right now. You know, if I wanted to order fabric from somebody over in Australia or in Hungary, or I can't because they can't ship to us right now. Post offices aren't shipping to the United States. You know, and I was really close to caving on a Gecko Rouge. I've never bought a Gecko Rouge, and I was really close to caving, but you can't get Gecko Rouge in the United States now. I'm really thankful I did back in July, so 2 months ago, I decided that, with all the talk of tariffs and all this stuff going on, I went out and did all my Christmas shopping. I have it all done. I don't have to get another thing, and I'm really glad, because watching the cargo fall off the cargo ship, watching the tariffs, I have no idea what's going to be around. Sorry, my eye's watering. I have no idea what is going to be around if I waited till December. Anyway, I will wish you a wonderful 2 weeks. I hope you get lots of stitchy time, and maybe even a finish or two. If you finish something, tell me down below what you've last finished. And in the meantime, goodbye.